U.S. Code 607. Didn't he say that to you? Go look it up. 28 U.S. Code 607. And he'll tell you what it means that you got all these people playing like they're lawyers, and when you are a government agent, you can't be playing those positions that you are while you are an employee. (28) U.S. Code, special section there, 607. The practice of law prohibited. An officer or employee of the administrative office shall not engage directly or indirectly in the practice of law in any court of the United States. And there's a certain year right there, June 25, 1948, chapter 646, 62, statute of the state 915, stat 195. Because that's what we want to share today about this is that when a police officer who works for the state of California, and then the public defender, the public pretenders, the district attorney, the court clerk, and the judge, when they all work for the same company, they can't be practicing directly or indirectly in the practice of law in any court of the United States. Now does is a doctor Boo Nygren, he an employee, is he an agent that is practicing of law that is prohibited by him? Is Justice Jane, the delegates, are they practicing some of these things? Are some of our leaders or in your towns, in your city, townships, are your police people, some with a badge that say that they work for the state of California or the state of Arizona? That's what this means. You can't be the arrestor, the jury, the prosecutor, and the judge. You can't be all those things to prosecute a social security ghost entity. So all of you that do that are guilty of fraud, and it's called fraud upon the courts. It has no statute of limitations. Means if this ever happened to you, that you are prosecuted, you were arrested as a John Doe social security number, and you spent some time and you were prosecuted by all of these people that work for the same company, and that's called fraud upon the court. So when that happens, you can file a claim at the Court of Claims and show that in the Court of Claims that they did prosecute a ghost. And to do that, you need to have standing. Standing means that now you want to show that you are not the ghost anymore. You are not the ghost entity that got played. So here I'm in California right now. I shared this on some other videos. How do I get standing in the state of California? Well, I go to the Secretary of State and I get this certificate of no record corporation. And there she is right there in the entity, Shirley N. Weber, PhD too. So this agent lady right here working for this state of California is doing some wrong things along the lines of this right here. But you definitely want to get this right here, that the Corporations Code of the State of California provides for the filing in the Office of the Secretary of State of a statement and designation and a certificate of good standing, certified copy of articles or certificate of incorporation as to a corporation qualified prior to September 18, 1959. In order to qualify a foreign corporation to transact intrastate business in this state. I further certify that a diligent search has been made in the corporate files of this office and that there is no record of a California or foreign corporation, active or inactive, of the name Nii Nee. So now I have standing in California that I took a federal court case to as a living man, as a non-entity. Yeah, even at the federal corporation, they capitalized my name right there on number 11. Do you see that? And do you see right here, it says Shirley Weber, said Shirley Weber or Shirley Weber. Shirley's all webbed up here like a duck. So this name is not supposed to be over here. That's not how I put the complaint in. I put the complaint in that against California State et al., Gavin Newsom, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, Siskiyou County, Judge T.J. Linville, et al., corporate parties in alliance. That means any of their bosses. And I already been through this other court case over here back in St. Regis Mohawk Tribe back in 2016, January 13. Looks like Nene filed something in February 13, 2014. And it was filed over by Ed Fleury, it says, December 1, 2015. It said that I'm going to make an appeal over there in this court case right here. The people of New York versus Nii Nee. And again, my name is in small letters right here. Small letters. That he has diplomatic immunity. There's no social security number applicable. and that he's under sovereignty. There's a great law of peace. This court case, the people of New York versus Nii Nee, was case number 131-00007. I had put in a motion to dismiss based on diplomatic immunity. They denied my motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. Motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. And I don't have a social security number, so there's no reason I was in the court at all. But they changed it up, changed my name. They took out one I, they call it NI, and then NE, and they capitalized it. So I'm saying the question here is that the first rule of law is that question, and sovereignty and the great law of peace. All this is all in question right here. So why do the Court of Appeals, why should they grant the motion? Well, the court has to establish the rule of law. Remember, the first rule of law is daughters of the Great Spirit and headmen are under that law right here. So the court has to establish the rule of law to preside over this case. Well, how the fuck can you preside over your superior? How can you judge a clan mother and a headman when she is the highest rule, when the headman is a superior rule of law to your court? That means the judge, and company, all of them, that this judge, how can, if I ask you, how do you have a rule of law over me, Nii Nee? I don't have a social security number, and I'm a diplomat, and I'm asking the judge while he's up there in his black cardinal priest robe, and I know he's a goddamn fucking slave. And I'm looking at him like a fish. And he knows that I know I'm a headman under my clan mother's authority. So he's gambling the whole time. He's a Roman, pedophile, black robe, cardinal, priest. Pedophiles, that's what they are. They do child molesting, pedophiles. That's their secret. That's their secret society. The Vatican. Oh, and it's on fire right now. So the court has to establish the first rule of law to preside over this case. The people of New York versus Nii Nee. Can the state provide burden of proof? A signed instrument that was signed in 1948, agreeable law, where the headman and daughters of the Great Spirit, meaning clan mothers, signed over jurisdiction to the state of New York. Can the state provide burden of proof? The signed instrument, signed in 1948, that is agreeable by law, where the headmen and daughters of the Great Spirit signed over their jurisdiction to the state of New York. That's the question I asked right there. Then I said something else. I said, does the question to be answered is for all the League of Indian Nations of North America. This is for you, Navajo Nation, Sioux Nation, Iroquois, Apache. This is for you to be answered as for all leagues of Indian nations, tribes of Indian nations. You were leagues of tribes of Indian nations of North America before you became a federal ghost casino entity demon tribe. So I'm asking you a question, not only to the court, but to the Indians right here, and for the peaceful coexistence with our yin, our great spirit. You have to establish that the Bombay court does not have the rule of law on a true sovereign. The first rule of law, daughters of the Great Spirit. So when I get up there and I'm standing up there on my own 2 feet, and I don't have no ghost lawyers there, British lawyers, crown lawyers, I don't have nobody there holding my hand. It's me in the courtroom by myself. All I am saying is, I am under my clan mother's authority. She is the daughter of the Great Spirit. Pursuant to the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt, I make a motion to dismiss this case for lack of jurisdiction. You are charging a John Doe. You are charging a ghost entity. This has already won 27 charges of genocide right here, this court case right here. It's censored ever since it won. This paperwork, all of this 27 charges of genocide is right here. March 5, 2018. I filed 27 charges of genocide against the St. Regis Mohawk tribe for arresting me and calling me John Doe and trying to put me away in their prison system for a long time, too. Anything that got these, doing business as, capital letters, DUNS number, 797-816-647. These motherfuckers are supposed to be all out of business, but you guys are keeping them going. The Iroquois, Donald Smoke, Oren Lyons, Mike Mitchell, LaFrance, Cook, Tarbell, Ransom, David, all you fucking sorry motherfucking Iroquois. You're keeping it going, all this game. And your bodies are stacked up. But you arrested me at the public library. Donald Smoke called the cops that day. Sway came in there too. Wanda Johnson set up. Wanda Johnson set it up. You arrested a diplomat. The Iroquois set me up because I won some court cases in Oregon, New Mexico, Arizona. And the Iroquois, these guys jumped the line. They were once called Haudenosaunee. These guys, they were called Haudenosaunee, or their community was called Kanyakahaga. But they went this route in 1948. They killed one of their own to become this and become a VIP and make some fake statutes. It's called Statute 232 and Statute 233. Under Title 25, that thing they call Indians. So that's how all this happened, and all of us Native people got stuck in this way because these guys were at one time the head with that Two-Row Wampum belt. Identify the items of damage or injuries claimed to have been sustained. False arrest, false imprisonment, crimes against humanity, human trafficking, fraud upon the courts, violation of diplomat immunity, kidnapping me, defamation, war crimes, genocide, right there, look, genocide, violation of international treaty laws, violation of United States treaty laws, violation of the Constitution for the United States, of Mary KKKA, and violation of the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt. The violation of treaty laws, in case if you don't know what they are, there are only 3 that the international courts recognize. What are they? Well, one is called the Rosetta Stone. It's kept at the British Museum. There was a treaty carved in stone made forever, as long as the sun shines and the grass grows. The Rosetta Stone. Then there is a thing called the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt. Then there is called the Chanupa Treaty. There's 3 international treaties that the Crown, the Vatican, all those fish people, they know that, but they hide it because they got you all under this Social Security, blinding your eyes, making you forget who you are. So this international treaty law says 3 things on it. Chanupa, whoever uses Chanupa, you're right here, international treaty law. Whoever's over there in the other, across the big water by Egypt and those countries over there, Rosetta Stone, it's in place. Here on this turtle island, the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt, I have it. So this claim is served, and a notice of intention to file a claim was served on Eric T. Schneiderman, Attorney General, Loretta E. Lynch, Attorney General, Donald Trump was President, CEO then, military, Commander-in-Chief. I told him you guys are violating all this shit right here. And Eric T. Schneiderman too. I am Nii Nee. That X is my clan mother. Shumasana, Stan Naza Bitsitlet Saw. Twitchini, Stan Naza. Yos Gay Stado Holia. Nii Nee, my hand. Right here, Balashlai. I'm the 5-fingered kind. I'm not the alien kind. I reserve my rights as a living Natanii, as a diplomat. This was filed from inside of the jail, MDC, Bernalillo. Notarized by the jail notary lady. And they're all a bunch of fucking assholes. Albuquerque, you know who you are. Fucking pieces of shit. So I own New Mexico. I dealt with them too. That's the same exact way right here. I dealt with them first, New Mexico. That's where they bowed my clan mothers. They bowed my grandmas at this place called Old Town in Albuquerque. And they killed my people if they didn't bow to that Catholic priest, Pope. That was done at Old Town, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That Dutch whore, that's who they named Albuquerque after. Dutch. So there hasn't been a United States since this court case went through right here. There it is. So since these things have been going on, this is why Lawrence Laughing, Donald Smoke, Wanda Johnson, all, you can say pretty much all the Iroquois, all six nations of them came after me and are still after me. They're still fucking after me. Because they want to stay floating as this entity, ghost people. So I didn't settle in this thing. I put it for a big amount too. This is how much for right there, look. The New York State Court of Claims. Saratoga Springs. Note of issue. February the 3rd. Looks like I did, or January, February, March 3rd, 2018. To that number right there. At Saratoga Springs Court of Claims. And it looks like they wrote it there. As if any of you go check it out, Andrew Cuomo is not there. He's hung. Eric T. Schneiderman, they are hung for treason. This is called treason when you go against a diplomat. And he's really a living man. They were trying to make me a prisoner of war. They were really trying to kill me, these Iroquois, to keep their game going. So I took the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt away from Donald Smoke and company. And then I took it to court. In this case, the people of New York versus Nii Nee, case number 131007. So now I explained this right here about this New York case, because it's exactly the same shit that's going on over here in California. Now, they sent out a letter right here to Nii Nee in small letters at Jackson, California, from the office of the clerk, United States District Court. So I want you all to know that this federal corporation, if you look it up on Duns and Bradstreet, you're going to see this United States federal court, or whatever the name of all this is, has a Duns and Bradstreet number. So it's a foreign entity. It's a ghost. That's why I have a problem again here. And I made sure that I have no record of a corporation in this state right here. Because the court case came back. They changed the spelling of the name. This is technical. Right there. Nii Nee. Look, I'm not a ghost going against this ghost company. I'm in small letters. By doing this, I proved that I won right here. I pulled a trump card. What do you do after you get the paperwork saying you're in good standing in California? Leo, yate, don't be scared. How come you ain't calling me? You weren't scared when we went over there the last time. Hoka, good, you're still alive. Leo. Come to the court. Meet me over there. I'll show you what to do with it. Right now, I got a track phone, all cartel phone from Walmart. I'm over here at this area called Jackson. You're welcome to come over here. Come catch a sweat lodge with me. You're a living man. You're a living warrior. I need one of your Condor clans here. 28 USC Code 607. Email me your number to my email. It is still the same. My Facebook is locked right now. I have to go to the library. I just got a little track phone. And they still threaten me and whatever, so I don't my phone number, and I still have to change it every once in a while. But once you get this statutory resignation form like this, you want to file it with the state court clerks and things like that. And you want to start some things like this, making a claim on the things that you have been wronged in California. Like who asked and who forced your mom and dad to start making you prick foots so that we could become entities? Well, we all are going through the same thing right here. This is the blueprint that we all got genocided. We all, a lot of us, a lot of people were born in hospital institutions, and the doctor agent pricked our foots and got us in this monopoly game. That's called an act of genocide against the doctor agent, that he is telling the gynecologist, OBYN, to prick the foot, telling the RN nurses to prick the foots. Here in California, for all of your information, in California, there is a that I know, J. Tony Serra. He's an old school lawyer, claimed to be the top criminal defense lawyer of the century. He has some younger warriors now, around my time, and one of them, his name is Brian Ford, like the make and model of a vehicle, Ford. Brian. I have had a consultation with him over there at Pier 5 law firm in San Francisco. And J. Tony Serra, he had a stroke, and so I didn't get to meet with him, but I got to meet with this Brian Ford, and he told me he had a child, and I said, really, did you prick the foot? Because that's what all this stuff is that I'm here to visit J. Tony Serra about. And he goes, no, we got the policy changed. So there is a policy change. If any of you in California are going to impregnate a woman or have a child or think about it, that you don't have to prick or allow the doctor agents to prick the child's foot and squeeze blood out onto a birth certificate title. The dropping of the blood is what is considered a blood oath sacrifice. A blood oath sacrifice, like a ritual. And you're doing witchcraft. So that's a genocide crime. Witchcraft. A long time ago, when things were still real, those kinds got hung and burnt by fire. So this is the suit that all of you could file. Is you could file some charges and you go to the claim office like this, if you got that standing paper right there, you have standing to do this. Right there. So you would go to the state of California Court of Claims, put your name in small letters under your clan mother, and claim it, and go against California state, the state of California, and write that Duns and Bradstreet number, and follow the plan right here. Look, what did it do to you? What did they do to you? Get your witnesses, everything. Short and sweet, look. When did it happen? Where did it happen? What did they do? And then it turned into all this. But if you haven't been arrested or imprisoned, well, you all are falsely imprisoned. You're on a chattel farm. You're on the cow farm. Welcome to the reservation. That's what we call it. The Indians that are here left, a lot of them are stuck on a reservation that is in their mind because of this Social Security number. But you have charges. You have international charges. You have a lot of these same charges right here. That human trafficking through the drop of blood, fraud upon the courts, and genocide. Violations of international treaty laws. If you're from Mexico, you're from Guatemala, you're from somewhere, international treaty laws pertain to you. This Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt belongs to all of you that come from a pyramid. That means there are white people that were once white tribes. There are Asian that were once pyramid clans back in Genghis Khan's era. There are black tribes that have pyramids over there in the Africa lands. Here where you are right now on this land, there are pyramids all across this Turtle Island. The kind like this, certain one of us, we are still that pyramid clan. And we are expected to do this kind of work because we adopted other tribe clans under us. And the Creator made it this way that we are to lead, not be ruled by Social Security entity companies. So this man right here, Hastiin, chiil, hajinii, he made a treaty in his moccasins, full identity, hand-to-hand combat, guerrilla warfare with the U.S. Cavalry, so that his children will be in their moccasins, not to be pricked, never to be molested. Yeah. The whole Navajo Nation is under a Duns and Bradstreet number, and under this 28 U.S. Code 607, the whole Navajo Nation Inc. is in violation of that right there. And they have been censoring me ever since I did this court case in New York. They don't want to hear it. So like the Iroquois, the Navajo Nation, like the tribes over here, like the tribes over there, you don't hear too much of them talking the way I talk, because they're just trying to keep their monopoly game going. But me, I am not here to do that. I'm here to make sure that U.S. Department of the Interior, Office of Inspector General, and Donald Trump right there. And that by this fax right here, going to be proof of service to all corporate entities in alliance with an attention notice to Agent Doug Burgum. That's still my email right there. You see it, Leo? Donald Trump got it. He don't fucking write me. Doug Burgum don't write me either. And I tell him, this is what's in this thing right here. There's your law right there that you're all in violation of. 28 U.S. Code 607. There's 6 pages of a federal case number 224 CV 3185. 6 pages in there. Number 3, there's the proof of service is this fax right here. What I'm sending through, and that I get the receipt from the fax. And it went through. And they received it. And they received these pages right here that I'm showing my name is capitalized there. I sent them the State of California authentication and the certificate of no record. And then I sent it to the president and vice president of the Navajo Nation, 17 pages, to Rochelle Montoya. She is a full-blood Diné woman, matriarch. The president, CEO of the Navajo Nation Duns and Bradstreet Company. He is a half-breed. Half-breeds do not rule my people. And the other half is called Vietnamese. So I am a full-blood. So is he. I am a full-blood right here, and I am in my moccasins. So I am not to be ruled by an Asian entity called Boo Nygren. I don't even recognize him. That's how bad. I can't even send it to him. He's a fish out of water. So I have to send it to my matriarch clan woman, who is the real leader right now. I sent it on Monday, May 5th, that there's a matter of national security here involved in this Article 6, Section 2, case number 24 CV 3185. And it's me, Nii Nee. Nii Nee 1868 at gmail.com. Attention, Vice President Rochelle Montoya. Enclosed 6 pages. The authenticated diplomat documents. Passport photos. One page, 28 U.S. Code 607. 6 pages, case 24 CV 3185, letter addressed to Nii Nee, General Delivery. Fax, proof of service, receipt, the one I showed you previous, to the Trump and DOI and Burgum, and the Inspector General. And I said signed under penalty of perjury pursuant to this two-row wampum treaty bill right there, 1612. My headman, reserve all my rights, Nii Nee. So that one was received, and then also right here to the speaker of the delegates. So I sent it to 17 pages to Speaker Crystalline Curley and all delegates, including Jermaine Simonson from Pinon, Arizona area. Supposed to be representing my community. Never met you, never seen you one time out there. I was out there the last 5 years. Same thing. Under penalty of perjury. This is pertaining to the Navajo Nation. That this company, this Duns and Bradstreet company called Navajo Nation Inc. is not doing what he put in place for his people. So I had to pull the rug out from under them, the company. I am not trying to that was not my intention, like any of you are not. You have a loyalty to your clans, I hope. You have a loyalty to your mom, your dad, I hope. You have a loyalty to your bloodline. I am this clan. I don't get to get out of it. I'm obligated, and I'm sometimes bitter about it. I'm a Twitchini. I'm a Bitterwater clan. And that's what it means is sometimes being a leader, it's not so good tasting. It's kind of bitter, like drinking some really bitter root tea or some sage. But that's what I'm trying to share with you all here is how I'm doing this and how I look at this, and maybe it can enlighten you to get up and fight a good fight for yourselves and your children. If some of you have kidnapped children that are taken by CYFD or Children Youth Department, you get the statutory resignation form like this. And you specifically tell them at the corporate commission's desk office there, you say, I want a certificate of no record. You have to ask for this specifically. These guys are not going to help you. They're not being paid to help you. And in fact, the last time I was there on this date right here, March, the guy back there in the corporate commission, he got on the phone really fast. He got a little blonde hair, got a little ponytail there. He got on the phone to Shirley Weber or whoever, and was saying to them, we need to change this process. So they want to switch it up, make it a little bit harder for you. I suggest that you go get this. And also, I will remind you all that playing dead doesn't get you to the sky world. He said that. He told us that. So get this paper so you're not being treated like you are dead and a ghost company. And our great news for everybody, where's the popcorn? Leo, you got popcorn popping. Jerusalem, is burnt. King Solomon is not going to come save the day. King Satan, and the Vatican just went up on fire about 6 hours ago. This morning I lit a little fire outside, and I prayed for it to go on fire also. So also, everyone needs to know that when you are not a ghost, your prayer is strong. It's a living prayer, not a dead entity prayer. What do dead entities pray to? They're dead and missing from the grave. So what do they pray to or pray for? You understand it now? Nii Nee Speaks from the living side through this Android all cartel track phone to spread you some love and peace and some truth, that peace has prevailed. They're in the sky watching it all. Only got one watcher? All right, I better get off. Got too boring, too real for everybody. Hokahe. One warrior, Leo. Alfred. Aho. Hokahe. 2 warriors. 3 warriors. All right. Aho. Mitako yasin. Send me that email. I got some good things to share with you. Nii Nee 1868 at Gmail. And we'll come sweat.